So today we are going to be going through the ad checklist for what we need to do in order to get these ads live for House of Transformation. So in this meeting, Lewis, Joe, and I are sitting down and going through everything that we need, going through all the open items, and then starting to push these ads live. So these are all things that we have open: offer mapping, landing page design, form mapping, conversion setups, copywriting, basically, and then just ad setup and management, right? So I've got some of these things done, but I figure we just go through these one by one and just kind of check them off and get on the same page for where I need your help to step in, and then where we can handle, and then maybe where else like a contractor might want to step in and help to manage these on a daily basis. So the first one is offer mapping. Right. When we had initially spoken, we talked about a booty class. We talked about a couple of different kind of unique mechanisms to bring people in, right? Like when I scroll down my feed, the thing that I always see is like, come in for a free class, right? When it comes to gym stuff. So I know that it works, but if we can take that and make it a little bit more hyper specific, right? So you got the pregnancy video with Cindy, the postpartum one. I think that's a good one. The only thing is that's very niche, right? People are only going to be interested in that, obviously, when they're interested in it. We need something that's a little bit more kind of like open and generic, and we can use the creative that we have. That's not the issue. It's more just like, what is the call to action offer that we're going to make to get people off of Instagram and bring them into the gym? So we can test two things. We can just go with the straight one that we have now, which is 2 free sessions. It's kind of like the standard, gym offer. Or like what I was saying was, so this is kind of like a landing page concept, super simple, that I just had like mocked up really quick. That is for like a booty program, right? So again, I don't know what the logistics of that would look like, but I do know that we had talked about that you have programs that could be either done already or just, and I know like most of the women come in there and like, I want to do all the time and I want to build my butt, right? So just putting like a label on top of it from a marketing point of view will just really, really help to, in my opinion, just stop people and bring them in and force them to come in. A good example of this actually is Pamela went to there's like a gym in the Gables, I forget what it's called, but it's pretty much only like butt workout. So she went on Sunday with like a bunch of people and it was just like all butt, like the whole class was butt. So anyway, so for this is just the mobile view, right? But this is where everyone's going to see it. So I had just kind of mocked this up and something too. So for context, this would be the page that we would send people to from the ad. So instead of sending people to the website, which it's more of like the general message. We want to send it to something that matches the copy and the videos that we're going to serve to people. And that's kind of the beautiful thing about marketing, is that we can test these things without having to change the business model. What we can do for this one is I have to build this form, but we can just sync this with using Zapier to just push the contacts into MindBody. I believe, I'm not positive of that, but Joey, you had said that Sammy was doing something with Zapier in the past, right?
Yeah, we actually just went with tweaking the MindBody submission form itself, because they are not going to have a MindBody Zapier connection until later this year. Okay. So what we can do here then again is that this can just push to your email. These are the types of leads too, where like you don't necessarily want them in your CRM until you qualify them anyways, right? Because we're going to get, just like the way that internet leads work, especially from ads, like point blank, is like 50% of them are shit. They're just not qualified. They didn't know that it was in Miami. Whatever it is, right? They're just out the gate unqualified. So the qualified ones you can just manually add into MindBody, either when they come in or when they schedule the appointment. You can create the account for them. So all we're going to get here is probably, like, I actually think that we should probably just go for phone number, personally, just name and phone number, and like just be like, we'll text you. I think it's the fastest way to get in touch with them and with you, unless you guys want email instead. Like, Joe, if you're getting these leads coming in, would you rather text them and call them, or would you rather email them to bring them in? I mean, we definitely tried calling and then texting first. So if that's easier, then and then we would just need the email later to put them in MindBody.
Yeah, but you can get that from them, assuming that they can get in touch with them. I mean, text has just the highest response rate and success rate of getting through to leads. So basically, again, the process, you'd probably want to put together like a little bit of a different script from a sales point of view, because this one, again, we haven't, like, everyone, no matter what, has to come in for an assessment, right? Period. That's just the house way, the house method. But if you think about this again in terms of a funnel, people that are interested in that level are a little bit further down the funnel, already probably interested in house, maybe have seen Cindy working out there, or seen a friend working out there, and they're interested in your brand and interested in coming in. These people were going much higher in the top of the funnel, where it's just like, I want to have a nice butt for summertime, right? They don't know what house is. They don't know what the house method is. So we don't want to overcomplicate things by throwing all this information on, like get an assessment, found out like they didn't opt in for that at this point, right? So That's why that initial phone call and text message is so important, because we don't want to overwhelm them. We want to keep in mind what they signed up for. They signed up for a booty class. We're telling them that it's free. So whenever you call or text them, it's always not like, hey, obviously from the house of assessment, but you always want to lead with that. Like, hey, I thought you just applied to join like our next cohort or whatever of like our booty building class here at the House of Transformation. Like, when can you come in? And just get them to commit to coming in. And then you introduce them to the house method when they're either in or like preparing. You can send them an email. So let me just go back here to the checklist then. So the offer mapping, that's what we had just talked about, right? We'll do two things. We'll run the standard house offer, 2 free sessions, right?
Yeah.
Okay. 2 free sessions, right? And then run the booty builder offer. What do you guys want to do for that? Like,
maybe we do half off for the first month.
Half off first month. Okay, cool. So again, I'll let you guys figure that out. Okay, so landing page design and build. I just built it here. This is just a platform called ClickFunnels. So my team can just finish this and set it up. Again, we'll just set up the form. Whenever they submit that form, Joa, it'll go just directly to your email. So somebody just has to be watching these emails as they come in. So build in ClickFunnels, collect phone number, push to Joa's email. Okay. All right. So form mapping, that's that too. That's basically form mapping, just means where are we going to send the data? How are we going to handle the data when it comes in? Basically what I just talked about, right? So conversion setups, we'll take care of that too. That's inside of Facebook. It's a little bit technical. It's essentially just making sure that a conversion fires when somebody submits that form that I showed you, right? So we'll just fire that conversion in Facebook. So that way, when we're actually running the ads, and I can pull up your old ad account here. That way, when we're actually running the ads, we can track, how many conversions are firing from these campaigns. Okay, so copywriting. This is the big one here, and this is where I need your guys' help. Copywriting just means writing. It just means like marketing writing, right? So instead of blog writing or whatever, copywriting really refers to the specific kind of like conversion focused writing, right? So ads, emails, a lot of stuff that other company had done for you, but was just templating it, right? I'm going to teach you my copywriting framework. This is what I use to write everything, whether it's like a Twitter post or an ad or an email. I call it the problem agitate solution framework. The first thing that we want to do is we want to list out the problems that people are having, right? So we talked about this literally when we sat down to do like the initial offer stuff, right? So what are their pain points? What are their fears? What are their anxieties? What are the problems that they face on a day-to-day basis that relates, to the house business, right? So again, just off the top of my head, if we're using the booty one, or a good one is probably the Cindy Pareto one, right? Postpartum. How do I say this lightly? What problems would you think she's having? Like
your shape,
getting back into shape after having a baby. So let's say hypothetically that these are the problems, right? So the first thing that we always want to do, the first sentence, is we want to try and state the problem. And we also want to try and hook attention. So the way that ads work is it's all impression based. You're literally paying for real estate on the feed, right? So you're paying per impression. So you're paying every time that you log on to Facebook and you see an ad, Facebook is charging the person who's paying, right? So what that means is that the way that we reduce costs is by getting more people to take action, right? Or just scrolling past. And that's important too, because when people take action, it tells Facebook that those people are interested and therefore will serve ads to those type of people again in the future. So like tired of at-home workouts, right? So that's like one example, right? Open with a question while tagging the problem. Another one can be like relating to the customer through story.
So you recommend using videos in the ads?
Yeah, videos are always better. So videos are always play better because they just communicate a lot more than images. However, I'll say this, and this is just a little bit more advanced advertising, but I'll just say for the purpose. If you're trying to get a very direct action from someone, if you're like, book this now, then an image plays better because we want them to focus on clicking the link as opposed to watching the video. But these ads that we're going to be running is going to be more of what we call the top of the funnel, right? Where like we want people to watch it because we want them to get educated. So These would all be examples of problems. Let's move into the agitation side of things here. So this is a little bit more advanced, right? But this is really where copywriting to me becomes lethal, because what a lot of people will do is just be like, want a perfect house for summer? Well, come into the house transformation. It's very predictable. But what I like to do is I like to agitate the problem a little bit by like really drilling into it, right? So for example, tired of not seeing your ass grow. You've been going to the gym, you've been putting in the time, you've been doing everything that people said, right? Like really drilling into those feelings that people have. And then we introduce the solution after that, which is the offer. Once you kind of write out the call to action part down here, then we just copy and paste it over and over again at the bottom of it. And then you just have to rewrite the beginning of ads. So I'll help you guys write that now. The solution, obviously each one of these has their own unique solution. I even just copy this over and reuse this. It's here to get you right for bikini season, right? Something like that. So this is where we need to write out like the specific offer. So the solution, this is when we start to break down. You've heard me kind of say this before, so like people don't care about house until you have their attention. They care about house. Now is the time to really like sell them on like, what are they getting for coming in? Like, what are we offering them to come in? So the solution and call to action is kind of the same thing. Solution one, we'll call this, the 2 free sessions. And this will also be like the house method. So for this one, Lewis, the house method were for 2 free sessions. Like, do these things still stand? What other like value props do you have for the house method, the house system?
We could put customized workout plan, like on that one, training plan, custom training plan. I want to make it like specific to like the feminine body or booty or some of my private workouts with our certified coaches. I like that.
Okay. All right. So now what we can do is we can start to piece these 2 things together. I'm wondering if we just run this as, instead of the $32 per session, I guess we can test it, but this just feels like a better offer, right? Forget the 2 sessions. You know, I feel like a lot of gyms run that, and I feel like this is a way that we can kind of stand out against the grain and just be like, you know, it's not about the workout, it's about the results. And if we can put everything around that, okay, all right, let's do that then. Okay. I think the one that I liked, I didn't really like that one that much. So want the perfect butt for summer, or tired of not seeing your, I kind of like this one here. So
this is great because the biggest thing that we talk about too is the difference of exercising versus training. So randomized activity versus like specific targeted action that moves you toward your goal. And so that's one of the biggest things, that these girls go in, they do these workouts, but they don't see the change. And that's because they're not on a specific training program that's specific, that's progressive, and that's written in a way that over time is guaranteed to see results. They're picking like, oh, this girl, I like this like workout and I like that like workout. They don't use any actual training principles.
Those would be good remarketing ads once people have, so like, again, at the top of the funnel here, we just want it to be about you.
Yep.
You don't give a shit about us. You don't give a shit about berries. You don't care about any of that stuff. You care about how you look and how you feel. After they see this, then we can remarket back and start with the education on that, like the house method, right? Like what makes us different. Now that we've given you something, now, you know, let's stay in front of them with that stuff. So did that make sense? That was kind of like the approach that I take to writing ads. They don't have to be overly crazy. They don't have to be overly long. Most people, they say that the education level that you want to aim for when you're writing your ads is like a 7th grade level. You don't want to use big words. You don't want to complicate things. People are like laying on their couch, like mindlessly scrolling, you know, like it's better to keep it simple. Okay. So that's really kind of where the next part comes in, right? So we have all of these assets here. We've got the mic'd up ads, right? Which I'll probably end up running these. Whichever ones we decide to run here, we need basically like a piece of copy that's customized to that. So we can use the same framework and the same base of what we did. But like if we're going to run, and I think we should run, the wedding one is good from Hunter. We want to customize that beginning part of the story, the beginning part of the ad to talk about Hunter, the storytelling element there. Like Hunter had a big event coming up, her wedding, her dream day. It's like she trusts House to get her the best shape of her life, you know, for the biggest day of her life, you know.
You could do that just as a text?
As text, yeah. More people are going to read it than watch it. An underwhelming amount of people actually watch videos. It's kind of sad when you go through this all the time. I've told you this, Lewis. Like we spend all this money and energy on like creating these videos, and it's like, yeah, people didn't watch it. I'm
going to send you what we just made with Joa.
Okay. For the Joe video, then we can run the copy that we just wrote. But Joe, again, like I think if you can come up with like 5 more ads, we need like a solid like 5 to 10 pieces of copy that we can then match to the videos that we have. The other one though is the before and afters. So what we want to do with these is we want to use these as remarketing videos, remarketing ads, sorry. So anyone who's seen the previous, we can then send them this to be like, look at these results. Oh, by the way, they're guaranteed. So if you want to come up with some ads, some writing for these ones too, Joa, and I think all you literally have to do is just drill into the guarantees. Like now we're starting to talk more and more and more about like what we do and how we help, and like drilling into the fact that you're going to get results if you come here. We already have the conversion set up. I'm going to have Jan, my media buyer, set these up once you send these to me. Yep, Joa.
Okay.
We'll just run them directly to this landing page here. Very simple, very basic. I'll change this copy a little bit to match whatever offer we just wrote here, which I think this is actually really good copy here. We'll set them up. And then this is what you guys are really going to have to try and figure out, because like he just won't be available to, again, like test and iterate on these. And they really do need regular review and maintenance for the most part. So these ones are running to your Instagram audience, right? This just says it's hot traffic. This is your Instagram audience that we're running to. These exhaust over time. Very quickly, actually, unless you have a huge Instagram profile like Cindy, who's like constantly getting new people to it, then this audience exhausts quickly because they serve the ads to them and they basically cap it. Like they don't want to serve it to people like 50 times, right? So they cap it at how many people see those ads. That audience basically dries up quickly, and then all of a sudden your ad costs go up. So if you're not watching them every day, then your cost goes up very drastically because the audience exhausts, right? So that's one reason why they need to be looked at every day, because this audience here is going to be your most, people have been to your website, people have been to your Instagram profile, is going to be your best chance of getting leads off of Facebook, right? So yeah, I mean, that's something that's kind of like the final piece of this that you guys are just going to have to figure out is on an ongoing basis. How do you keep these things fresh? And really the easiest thing to do, honestly, is like every 2 weeks, change the video.
Check out the one that we made with Joa.
Where'd you put it?
Oh yeah, and the Ariana one too is cool.
I put it in the mic'd up.
Mic'd up, okay. Yeah, this is good. I would start with this one. So again, so the good thing here, right, is that like you've got enough creative here for the next 6 months to a year. You know, all you really got to do is kind of flip the videos through every couple of weeks, especially if they're not converting. You know, you can just kind of flip them through.
Okay.
So
I think I also have a spreadsheet that Gym Launch provided. It should be in there for tracking the ads every day. Like how many converted on this day, how much did we spend this day, and like, so I'll build a whole like spreadsheet for it.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be easier. Like it's going to be easier for you to just come in here and look though. And I can show you real quick, but again, like all you really could, because basically the way that you build that is you're gonna have to pull that data manually. And if you're pulling that data manually, you might as well just look at it in Facebook. You know what I'm saying? It'll just save you a lot of time.
I think after the first month, I think it's better that we run this, test it dry, right? Because I also don't want to put all my eggs in this basket. I do want to start focusing more on also some guerrilla tactics and then also utilizing what we have as far as like influencers go, you know, and really driving content that way. It worked with Cindy originally, so it can work again. And those are better qualified leads for us, you know, and that's when we were also paying far less for them. So I do want to focus more on that. So I think the way that we can go about this is this month we run it ourselves. We see the difference it makes. It'll also give us an assessment. Okay, here's what we're paying. Now let's go run it against our numbers. Here's the lifetime value of these customers. Is it worth it? What can we change? What can we improve? Is it better for us to go and hire somebody because, hey, we had this huge influx of cash. Let's go ahead and hire and let's take it to the next level. Or let's go ahead and hire because obviously we can't handle this on our own. I think the first month we can assess it. So I'm just kind of looking for ways just for us to get started and just, you know, to do our own checks and balances here. So we could get something for Joe where she could just watch a video, you know, that gives like a high level overview.
Yeah, I would say I don't have somebody specific in mind. Honestly, I would literally just go to YouTube and type in like Facebook ads for beginners.
Perfect. I just figured it would be worth asking.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's the good thing about Facebook is that like it's not like SEO where there's like theory. It's like Facebook ads, like it's a platform. You got to know how to use it. I just taught you all the theory that you need to know, right? It's offer, it's problem, it's speaking to and about your customer, it's really good creative, and it's really good copywriting that like really makes people feel stuff. So I know that Joe can definitely figure out. And honestly, it's a good skill to know anyways, because it's just has a lot of value understanding, knowing how to run ads. So yeah, so okay, so in terms of next steps, well, I mean, do you guys have any more questions first?
I think that was really, really clear and very good.
Okay, cool. So in terms of next steps, if you could do this, Joe, put together like as many ads as you can based on the creative that we have, and just map, I don't know what you can use, but like map the writing to the actual video. So that way I know which ones to map. And then I'll have my guy get them uploaded probably by like beginning of next week. I'll have him do it over the weekend if I have them. And then, yeah, once we have that, then we can start to like look at the data and understand what's happening, the quality of the leads, if you need to make a new offer.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you, Ryan. Appreciate your time, man.
Anytime,
Yeah,
man.
that was really great. Thank you.